Today, we're going to talk about the HPP Designer tool, a new tool from Hikvision that helps you design both small and large projects. Let's see together how we can access this tool and how to use it. First, go to Google and search for HikPartner Pro. Open the first link, and you'll see the HikPartner Pro website. Click on it and open the page. Here, you can log in using your HikPartner Pro account, the same account you may already have on your mobile phone. If you don't have an account, you can create one. I already have an account, so I'll log in directly. Once we sign in, as you can see, we are taken to this interface. From here, I'll go to the product section and then select Site Designer. Now, I'll enter the name of the project I'm working on. For example, I'll call it City Project. You can enter any name you want. Then, enter the customer's name, for example, Ahmed. Next, select the type of location. It could be a house, villa, school, or any other type of project. I'll select house. You can also add notes or a description if you want. I won't add anything for now, and I'll click Create. Now, the tool asks us how we want to create the project. We can use a Google Map location, upload a floor plan, or start with an empty design. For this example, we'll select floor plan. Here, we can upload an image of the floor plan of our house, apartment, hospital, or any other location. Next, the tool asks for the ceiling height. We'll use 3 meters as a standard height. You can also name the floor, for example, floor 1, or give it any name you want. Then click Confirm. Once we do that, the floor plan appears in front of us. The system will ask us to provide a known measurement so that it can understand the scale of the floor plan. For example, I'll select this distance and say that it is 8 meters. Of course, you need to know the actual measurement based on the floor plan you have. I'll enter 8 meters and click Confirm. As you can see, the AI starts processing the floor plan. It measures the area and automatically creates the walls. These walls are very useful. As you can see, they're shown in red. We can move them, adjust them, and change their dimensions. So, what is the benefit of having these walls? Now that the walls have been created, we have a complete floor plan with the walls defined. Our next step is to deploy the devices. We'll go to Device Deployment. Let's start with cameras. We can search for the camera model we want. For example, we can search for a specific model such as 1047 or any other camera model. I'll select the cameras I need and place them on the floor plan. For example, I'll place one camera outside here, another camera outside here, and another one near the garage. If I want to remove a device, I can simply right-click on it. I can also change the camera model and select a different one. Now, let's look at the information and features we can use with the cameras in this program. For example, I can position this camera like this and the second camera like this. I can also adjust the camera height. As you can see, the software shows the height of the camera. When I increase or decrease the height, the camera height value changes accordingly. I can position one camera to cover this area and another camera to cover a different area. For example, I can place a 12 megapixel camera inside the garage. I can select the camera and change its position and orientation. One of the useful features of the camera design is the coverage visualization. As you can see, there is an object representing a person in front of the camera. We can see how far the person is from the camera. We can also increase the distance to see how the object appears at different distances. This helps us understand how far a person or vehicle can be detected or identified by the camera. We can also enable the DORI settings from the Settings menu. As we discussed in previous tutorials, as the distance increases, image quality and identification capability decrease. The software allows us to visualize these different distances using different colors. This makes it easy to understand which areas are within a safe or useful detection range, and where image quality starts to decrease. If we select the camera, we can see how the person or object changes depending on the distance. This helps us determine where to install our cameras so that they provide the coverage we need. The software also shows the camera height and viewing angle, and we can adjust these parameters as needed. The default height is 3 meters because we previously specified the ceiling height as 3 meters. Now, let's assume we have deployed several cameras. The walls are also important here. For example, if I rotate this camera toward a wall, part of the camera's coverage disappears because the wall blocks the view. So, the wall information helps us understand what the camera can and cannot see. We can also go to the backend section and add an NVR. We can select the NVR model we are going to use and decide where the NVR will be installed. Next, we can go to the networking section. Hikvision is not only about cameras. We can also design other networking devices, such as access points, routers, and internet equipment. For example, I can select a Wi-Fi access point, such as a Wi-Fi 5 or Wi-Fi 6 access point, depending on the project requirements. Let's place 2 access points and see what happens. When I move the access point, the software shows the Wi-Fi signal strength in different areas. For example, we have a corridor with several walls. With the 2.4 GHz network, the signal may pass through the walls and remain strong in some areas. But after passing through multiple walls, the signal becomes weaker or may disappear completely. This explains why someone might install 2 access points and still have poor Wi-Fi coverage in a particular area. The problem could be the walls. If we move the access point to a better location, we can improve the coverage in that area. The software also supports 5 GHz coverage. When we select 5 GHz, we can see that its signal behaves differently because 5 GHz generally has less range and is more affected by obstacles. Green represents strong coverage, yellow indicates weaker coverage, red indicates poor signal, and white means there is essentially no coverage. Using this tool, we can determine how many access points we need for a house. For example, I could place 1 access point in the kitchen to provide coverage for the nearby rooms. By positioning the access points correctly, we can achieve much better coverage. Another very important point is the type of wall. We know that Wi-Fi signals are affected by materials such as concrete blocks, glass, wood, and other wall types. You may ask, how do we tell the software what type of wall we have? Based on the actual building, you can go to the Add Walls section. Here, different types of walls are available, including heavy concrete and different types of glass. You can select the wall type that matches the actual building. For example, if I know that this wall is different, I can select it and change its type. I can choose a wooden wall, for example. Once I select it, you can see that the wall changes appearance. We can also add new walls and modify them according to the actual building. This is important because the type of wall directly affects wireless signal strength. For example, if we have an access point next to a wall, the signal may appear at a certain strength. If we change the wall to heavy concrete, you can immediately see the effect on the wireless signal. The signal may become much weaker, or may not pass through the wall at all. If we change the wall to a material with lower attenuation, the signal can pass through more easily. So, depending on the wall material in your project, the Wi-Fi coverage will change. The software also allows us to move the mouse over different areas and see the signal strength. For example, it can show us whether the signal is good or poor at a particular location. We can also compare different frequencies, such as 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz. Now, let's go back to device deployment. From device deployment, we can return to the networking section. Since we have cameras and access points, we also need network switches. For example, we can select a 16-port switch. I'll place 1 switch in the garage, another switch in this room, and a 3rd switch in another location. Now we have 3 switches. The next step is to connect everything using cables. The software also provides different cable types. For this example, I'll select a Cat6 cable. Now I can connect the access point to the switch. I can connect the NVR to the switch as well. Obviously, the access point should be reasonably close to the switch depending on the actual installation design. This is only an example for demonstration. I can connect this camera to this switch, another camera to another switch, and connect the access points as required. Then I can connect the first switch to the second switch and the second switch to the third switch. As you can see, we now have a complete network design with all the cables. The software also has layers, so I can hide specific elements. For example, if I don't want to see the cameras, I can hide them. If I don't want to see the access points, I can hide them as well. I can also hide the walls or cables and display only the switches. This makes it much easier to work with a complex project. We can also add notes to the project. For example, I can add a note about something specific. I can edit the note, move it, or delete it. We also have a complete device list and device deployment section. The software supports many types of devices, including analog cameras, video intercoms, cameras, thermal cameras, alarms, software, and mobile-related devices. This allows us to create a complete and organized system design. We can also add multiple floors to the same project. For example, we can add a second floor, third floor, fourth floor, and so on. We can also create an empty background and manually draw the walls ourselves. This is useful when you don't have a floor plan image or when you want to create the design manually. You can select the wall tool and draw the walls wherever you need them. You can also delete walls or modify them whenever necessary. We can select multiple walls and work with them at the same time. We can also create multiple floors and manage them within the same project. The settings section provides additional options. For example, you can change colors, icons, and wall appearances. You can also make all walls the same color if you prefer. The wall appearance can also indicate its thickness or material type. You can change the measurement system, for example, from meters to feet. There are many additional settings available in the program. Once the design is complete, we can zoom in, zoom out, and review the entire project. We won't go into every small detail today. Let's move on to some of the other useful features. Once the floor plan is complete, we can go to the overview list. The overview list doesn't only show the devices we placed on the design. It also collects all the devices into a complete list. We can add prices to the devices because we can use this information to prepare a professional quotation for the customer. For example, I can enter the unit price of a camera and the software will calculate the total price. We can also apply a discount to individual items. Another useful feature is that the devices we placed on the floor plan automatically appear in the list along with their quantities. If I want to know where a particular camera is located, I can click Locate. The software will show me exactly where that camera is placed on the floor plan. For example, if I have 5 access points and I don't remember where I placed them, I can click Locate for each one, and the software will show their positions. Going back to the design section, we can also give each device a custom name. For example, instead of simply calling it Camera 1, I can rename it Outdoor Cam 1. The device name will then be updated throughout the project. We can also change camera lens-related settings and adjust the lens parameters when available. After that, we return to the overview list. As mentioned earlier, the overview list collects all the equipment. We can also add other costs, such as installation costs. If you need additional items, you can add custom columns or charges. For example, you can add installation materials, labor costs, or other service charges. You can enter these items in Arabic, English, or any language you prefer. You can also specify the quantity and price, and the software will calculate the total. Once the quotation is complete, we can go to the topology section. The topology shows us exactly how everything is connected. For example, this device is connected to this switch is connected to another switch, and finally the system connects to the internet. This gives us a complete network topology. We can also change the topology view to a vertical layout so that we can see the network from top to bottom. For example, we can see that one switch has 3 access points, another has 2 access points and an NVR, while another switch has cameras connected to it. This makes the entire network structure easy to understand. Once everything is complete, we can go to the export section. Here, we can generate a complete report that can be provided to the customer or the organization we are working with. The report can include the topology and system diagram, and you can choose what information to include. You can add or remove sections according to your requirements. I'll export the complete project. When you click Download, the software gives you different options. You can export the report as PDF, Word, Excel, or images. You can also include product pictures and model information depending on what you need. For this example, we'll choose PDF. One important point: this is a relatively new tool, so if you find any problems or have suggestions, you can provide feedback through the software. This will help the company improve the tool. Now, let's see what the final report looks like. We have our project name, city project, along with the date. The report shows all the device models we selected, their prices, installation costs, and other project information. After that, we get the topology. Then we have the system diagram. We also get the floor plan. The report can show the floor plan with the camera coverage access point coverage for 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz, cable layouts, and other design information. You can adjust the information included in the report according to your requirements. The report can also include the datasheet information for each selected device. You can add or remove information depending on what you need. And that's the final quotation and project design. With this workflow, you can create a professional quotation and a well-organized project design. When you present your proposal to the customer, you can provide the complete floor plan, device placement, topology, and other technical information.